All right, welcome back. Dow still in recovery mode, down almost as much as 400 today. Got back about half those losses throughout the session. We'll keep you posted on that. Bitcoin just under 10,000, still hanging in that range. I want to see it above 10,300 to get some upside momentum. And Frank, we're trying to get to the bottom of the Domino's pizza caper. In the middle of the show, there was a knock on the door. I always get nervous about, unknown knocks on the door. And then Jess dutifully went over and opened the door, and it was a delivery man with the Domino's pizza and two cheesy breads.
Well, I think, look, Domino's, I don't want to knock anybody, right? I mean, we've all got to make a living, but including the people that work at the Domino's on Staten Island, I can understand why you might have Domino's pizza if you lived in Oklahoma or, somewhere, Nebraska, somewhere where they're not really known for great pizza. But in New York City, and especially in Staten Island, I cannot fathom how anybody would patronize Domino's, especially when there's so many great pizzerias all over Staten Island and all over New York City.
No doubt.
I would never send somebody Domino's.
It's crazy. My buddy Bobby Schatz is out there, Staten Island's own, and he's saying that the younger generation loves Domino's. Deanna's on there. Deanna Red's on there. Hi, Dee. How are you? But I don't know. I almost didn't even want to say Domino's because, John Piscopo is my friend from Ciro's, and if he ever saw a Domino's on my desk, he'd kill me. I mean, I don't think I could do it. I mean, I appreciate it. Whoever sent it, take credit. We appreciate it, but Domino's in Staten Island, that's like going into a temple with pork.
You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
It's on the macro scale. It's like, wow, it's almost sacrilege to order a Domino's. Someone who would kill you. I don't know.
Yeah, I would not send you a Domino's, John.
Yeah, well, look, if I let the word get out that a guy named John Tobacco, who's banned from Facebook, is now supporting Domino's Pizza, I may have Aunt Pizza here in front of the house protesting us, It's an offshoot of Antifa, Aunt Pizza. Yeah.
That's very funny. You might be you might be onto something.
All right, what's actually going on in real news and breaking news, anything like that?
Okay, well, very interesting. We've been hearing about this new Space Force, right? And about 8,500 airmen have applied to join the brand new Space Force. Now, these are active duty airmen who want to fill the ranks of the Space Force. This is obviously the newest branch of the military. They receive, that's a lot of applications. About 16, that was just in May, I think. So far, about 16,000 former members of the U.S. Air Force Space Command have already been automatically transferred to the Space Force. So these applications are going to be reviewed, and then they'll officially take effect on September 1st. So it's very exciting to see what happens with the Space Force. And I don't mean that Netflix TV series, which I haven't seen, but is getting very poor reviews. And it's great that so many American patriots, so many airmen want to be a part of it.
No doubt. And I think, we may have a viable candidate here, Nico. You know what I mean? He's been in the Space Cadet program for as long as I've known him.
Well, I think the fact that Nico, who we're all grateful has survived the coronavirus, has been so selfish that he has refused to even get an antibody test so that he can donate plasma to people that are suffering from the coronavirus. I think it tells you a lot about Nico's level and willingness to self-sacrifice, and that's not the kind of person we're looking for in the Space Force. I don't believe.
Did you see the logo for the new Space Force, Frank? It kind of looks
it looks like Star Trek. I love it.
It has a real Star Trek-like feel.
I love it. I think it's great.
Maybe they'll get George Takei on the first trip of the new Space Force.
Yeah. I think that would be a lot of fun. Mitt Romney now indicating he probably will not vote for President Trump. He's not saying who he's going to vote for, and he said basically that by not saying anything, that's the best that he can do in terms of.
You know what, Frank? They're making all this news about the prominent Republicans were not voting for the president. Colin Powell hasn't voted for a Republican since 2004. Okay, that's a Republican presidential candidate that we know of since 2004. Okay, so Colin Powell not voting Republican is not news. Okay, now on top of that, Lisa Murkowski said, I may not vote for the president. She's been one of the only voices who hasn't voted with the president. They always have to cajole her along to join the team. And Mitt Romney has, on the record, stated hatred for the president. So all these prominent Republicans not voting for the president, it's the same old story. It's the same bunch of morons as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I don't care who these people vote for. It's not going to affect my vote. But you're right. Donald Trump really didn't win because of the tremendous reservoir of establishment Republican support that he had in 2016. He won precisely for the opposite reason, because he sort of had a populist appeal beyond the George Bush or Mitt Romney voter.
No doubt about it. And, Pierre Delecto, a.k.a. Mitt Romney, has been a hater of Donald Trump ever since he got passed over for Secretary of State. So,
right. John, I don't know if we mentioned this earlier or if we got to this yesterday, but the World Health Organization, which is, let's face it, it's an organization that has some credibility problems, especially with respect to their handling of the coronavirus, but that's not stopping them from commenting on it. And yesterday they came out and said that it's very rare for people who are asymptomatic with COVID-19 to spread it. And it's now, left everybody wondering, why are we still forced to wear masks everywhere if it's rare for people that aren't sick or not symptomatic to spread the disease? So today they're trying to backtrack a little bit. They're saying, they have not yet determined how frequently people with asymptomatic cases of COVID-19 pass the disease on to others. But who knows what tomorrow will bring. The one thing that Governor Cuomo is sure of, though, is if you go out in public, you have to wear a mask. I think this World Health Organization statement shows how little we know about this virus. And I think really the usefulness of masks is very much up for debate.
Yeah, no, I'm totally lost on the whole mask thing. It's like, you need them, you don't need them, they're good, they're not good, they help, they don't help. It's like, I think this whole thing is just wiped off the map. You know what I mean? Like, give me a break already with the masks and that. There were 35 COVID-related deaths yesterday in New York, I think, right? In the whole state. So, it's becoming really, an infinitesimal number that I think the whole thing is over. They should unlock businesses, unleash the masks. If you want to keep your business closed and you want to keep your mask on, go for it. But everybody else, we should go back to, freedom, if you ask me. I don't know.